Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to another edition of our podcast, episode 51. We've been here for almost a year, and we are still having a ball. Welcome to another edition of our podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I am C. Costa. Joining beside me is Brandon and Jacob. Fellas, we got a lot to talk about. Let's go ahead and dive into it. The World Series is all set up and ready to go for Friday.
That's right. This Friday is Game 1 of the 2022 MLB World Series. It will be in Houston, Texas at Minute Maid Park as the Houston Astros go head-to-head with the Philadelphia Phillies. Gentlemen, this playoffs has been nothing short of a roller coaster ride, to say the least.
No, kid. Let me start off with the Phillies first, because who would have thunk it? The Philadelphia Phillies, the same team that fired their manager mid-season, the same team that was without Bryce Harper for the majority of the season because of injuries, the same team that ended Albert Pujols' career, the same team that beat the Atlanta Braves in the NLDS, and the same team that beat the San Diego Padres in the NLCS is playing in the World Series. I mean, who would have thunk it? What a playoff!
Some tells me when Bryce Harper got injured that they went into full Rocky mode. They went full underdog, and they are now at the World Series for the first time since 2009.
Absolutely. I do believe that was the year they lost to the New York Yankees.
Yeah, that's when they gave the Yankees. That's when the Yankees got their last championship, the 27th, with when they beat the Phillies in 2009.
Also, and I know Brandon don't want to hear this, but that was also the last time the New York Yankees went to the World Series.
But it technically is. And this is something you have to wonder. It's like, you know your expectation is high, but how the hell are you gonna? But how the hell can you do it with Houston Astros team that you know that was trying to like get into your skin, to say the least?
Definitely, and definitely, and let's take it. Yeah, it's safe to say this is going to be This is the battle of two different styles we are going to be seeing this Friday. We got, of course, the Houston Astros, who are back in the World Series for what, the third time out of like 4 or 5 seasons. And they can have a chance to finally scrub away the stain of Trashgate and finally prove that they can win a World Series without cheating.
Hey, absolutely. And you know what? I got to tip my hat to Dusty Baker, because he did a wonderful job with this team. Especially, you know, you got a great pitching arm like Justin Verlander, who is still pitching like as if it's none of his business and knows how to strike people out. And not only that, but the Astros also has the hitting power to match with the pitching power.
Oh,
and
definitely.
Remember, go ahead, Jacob.
Yeah, definitely their hitting core is amazing. You've got, of course, Bregman, Gurriel, Correa, and many more, you know?
And you know something, and I want to speak about the New York Yankees for a second, because, you know, those Yankee fans were yelling, "We want Houston! We want Houston!" Well, you got them.
You got Houston, and you got swept.
Be careful what you wish for, because you just got it. And for the New York Yankees, I mean, this season has been, you know, like going on a roller coaster. Because throughout the season, we thought that the Yankees were going to win over 100 games because they were so hot at the beginning of the season. This team was so dominant at the beginning of the season. But then as August and September came, you know, some of that steam was left out of the engine. And they started to slow down. They started to go down. They had a losing streak. They had a losing spell at one point. And then just as soon as we get to the playoffs, they got hot again. They They beat the Cleveland Gladiators.
Guardians.
Excuse me.
Guardians.
Yeah, Guardians. They beat the Cleveland Guardians in the ALDS, but only to get swept out the door in the ALCS. And now the question has to be asked, fellas. I mean, what do you do if you're the Yankees? Where do you go from here?
You got a lot to work on, considering the fact that now you realize that Aaron Judge might be thinking about moving if the price is not right, considering the fact of the stellar season he had this year.
Well, I think also another thing to consider is that there's a lot of teams that would love his services. The fact of it, I saw on Twitter that the San Francisco Giants
there are many teams that will literally glad to bend over backwards to get the services of Aaron Judge to their team. And if New York is smart, which I know they are, they really need to lock it down.
Yeah, and here's another thing. If they can make a big deal, the only thing they could top it, it's not just to match it, but also make him the captain, him being Aaron Judge.
Well, let me ask this question, Brandon. I mean, considering that, the Yankees roster is pretty much loaded at this point. I mean,
the talent
you don't
is
want to
there.
go over the luxury tax. I think that's a luxury tax in Major League Baseball. And so that's one of the things.
I remember correctly, yeah.
Because I know there's no salary cap in baseball. There's no salary cap. I'm pretty sure there's a luxury tax. But I think the question has to be asked. I mean, do the Yankees want to be committed to Aaron Judge long term? Because he's young now, but probably by the tail end of that contract, his power could fade from him. I mean, look what happened with Albert Pujols when he signed with the Angels.
I'd say that they got to, because his power is going to be a bit of a mystery, but there's not to say that, like, it's not to say that he can't get maxed out with the Yankees.
Yeah, and definitely. Yeah, a lot of teams this is going to be a tough off season for the Pinstripes. For the Pinstripes,
Yeah, and even Nestor Cortez says if Judge returns, he's our captain next year. Nestor Cortez says that and some people say that it's going to be true.
I think the question has to be asked, fellas, and this goes right straight to Aaron Boone, because you took this team to the playoffs over and over again. They lost in the ALCS again. This time, they got swept. I mean, do you need to start over? Probably need to fire the manager.
That's a bit of a stretch, because Boone knows how it is to be on that time, be in that clutch. I don't think you can fire him because of what happened. It's not his issue, but at the same time, even Aaron Boone knows that fatigue caught up to the.
Because here's the you're right, Brandon. Because unfortunately, fatigue was the you can't put the blame on the managers for what happened to them in the ALCS. It's fatigue. Unfortunately, the scheduling did not help the Yankees in any favor whatsoever.
Yeah. You're right, Jacob, because I know that in the ALDS, the deciding game.
Yeah,
the deciding game had to be postponed to the next day because of
the rainstorm. And if it wasn't for that storm, they would have been fresh. They would have had an extra day to rest, get ready to move to make the trip to Houston, be ready to go. And we wouldn't be having this talk. We wouldn't be having this conversation of Houston going to the World Series. It might have been a different story of how it happened.
I mean, hell, we could have had a rematch of 2009.
Yeah, we could have had a rematch of 2009, and if if that postponement didn't happen. And and if that didn't happen, you best believe Philadelphia will be chomping at the bit to get payback on the pinstripes.
Yeah, I think it's ended too soon, fellas. The playoff schedule did the Yankees no favors whatsoever.
No, the playoff schedule did them dirty.
Yeah, and I think this is why I'm stressing out, especially to Commissioner Bob Manford, you gotta find some way to reduce the regular season so that you'll be able to, squeeze in the extra playoffs. And I know the number's at 162, and and I know that most traditionalists say, well, leave it at 162. I mean, we like old fashioned. Okay, that's fine. That's understandable. But, considering that we expanded the playoff, and it rains in the Northeast during this time of year.
October and November baseball in the Northeast is brutal. So not only with rain, but heavy winds, but even freezing temperatures. And ask any player in the Major League Baseball, and they will tell you honestly, playing in the Northeast sucks during the fall and winter times because unfortunately the rosin bag, it'll freeze up on you, and you will not be able to get any grip on the baseball.
Absolutely.
And ask any pitcher, when it pours rain, you are basically playing with a baseball that's like a greased up pig. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jacob.
The only one that I can think of when you put it like that was Andy Pettitte.
Yeah, I was about to say, Jacob. I was about to say, Brandon. We saw what happened during Sunday's game between the Padres and the Phillies. It was raining in Philadelphia, and the game kept going. The field
it was nasty.
They had to resoil the field.
Yeah, if anything, they should have delayed the game so that the rain could die out. But but in their infinite wisdom, they kept it going, and it was just getting sloppy. Okay, it was nasty, man.
Absolutely. So, but you know what? Like we said, the World Series is all set. It's gonna be a fun World Series. Now the question is, can Bryce Harper, at least keep the Phillies competitive? Because like I said, Houston, they're that monster of a baseball team.
Oh, definitely. It is the classic case of David versus Goliath. We might be seeing Rocky play out in real life. Philadelphia, of course, is Rocky, and Houston might be Ivan Drago.
I forgot who Mr. T played in.
Clubber something. Clubber Jones. No. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the possibilities are endless. We could be in for a storybook World Series and how it's going to be. And the question
now here's the big question I have, and I know Brandon might have the scoop. Who is going to be on the mound starting for Game 1 of the World Series in Minute Maid Park?
This I'm going to see right now because it's going to be determined.
They're playing close to the chest. I like that, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Keep it close till game time, and then we'll talk.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now we do have some manager news to report. First of all, Bruce Bochy. I pronounced his name right.
That's right. 3 years.
He's going to be the
heading to Texas.
Yeah, I was about to say that, Brandon. He is going to be the new manager over in Texas. They got him out from retirement, so he's going to be the new manager for the Texas Rangers next year.
Indeed, but from what I've been hearing, I'm keeping my ears down to the ground on the Discord side. I'm hearing rumors that the Yankees are expecting to keep Aaron Boone as manager for the Pinstripes. So,
that's a good call.
And we have to see what happens Let's see what he can do now knowing that he has a good team and good players to work with. But managers have been moving. Of course, the Rangers got themselves a new manager for 3 years. A lot of other wheels and deals have been happening with the manager roles in the off season.
Absolutely.
Basically this off season is going to be something else. But to get to there, we got to finish the postseason. Of course, like we said, Game 1 this Friday night on Fox, 8:00, 8:03 first pitch Eastern time. best believe you do not want to miss it. This is one World Series you kind of dreamt to see it. David versus Goliath, a good old-fashioned Rocky story, right? About to be played out in Minute Maid Park.
Absolutely. Shifting gears, and we're gonna hit the gridiron. And let me.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm just.
Here comes the salt.
Yeah. Yep. Well, let me just sum up this way. My whole feeling of what happened during the Buccaneers Panthers game. I just sum it up like this. I have no excuse. I went out.
Rolling like a geezer.
I can hear the cracking
like an old
right now.
Looking to yourself.
I can hear the thudding of the hallway of Brady right now. I can just hear it, and it sounds rough.
Can I also be honest about something here? I can actually hear Tom Brady's wife saying, "I told you should have stayed home, John. Come on."
Oh man!
Here's the thing that's frustrating to me. I mean, the Carolina Panthers traded Christian McCaffrey in the middle of the week. Traded him to the San Francisco 49ers. How in the hell can Tampa Bay just walk into Carolina, I guess being over cocky of themselves and thinking that they can beat the Panthers, and the Panthers turned around and beat them? Way off in the first quarter, Tom Brady threw a pass to Mike Evans. I guess Mike Evans was trying out for Cirque du Soleil because he was juggling that ball and missed the ball. It's frustrating. It's really, really frustrating to me about Tampa Bay. I've been using the same excuse week after week after week. We have no line. We have no line. We have no line. And it's time for us all to face facts. Tom Brady is aging like milk, and it's getting more and more sour week by week by week. The Buccaneers
what the worst part is? You know what the worst part is? If you would have said that years ago, everybody would have thought you would have been a bull-faced liar, because everybody was saying, "No, he's aging like wine." I was like, and now you can actually look at him and say, "What do you want to say now, motherfuckers?"
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. I mean, the fact of the matter is, Tampa Bay better be lucky the NFC South is hot garbage this year, because if there was any other division, this would have been ugly.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, because the NFC South, oh God, it's hot garbage. Well, yeah, my Saints unfortunately hadn't been the sacrificial lamb for a pissed off Kyler Murray and Bernard Hopkins over in the desert with Arizona taking the W, and I was like,
and there's another thing. Robbie Anderson.
Oof.
Yeah.
Enough
He's
said.
in Arizona,
yeah, enough said. Yeah, a team that here's the shocking thing, that's the fact that they went up by a week, but we had some crazy games happening. Here's a shocker. Here's not a shocker for you. The football team beat the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to my brother about this. I said that Washington was going to beat Green Bay because you know how Green Bay is. No defense, no help on offense.
Yeah, and it showed.
Hold on, fellas. I got some breaking news. Chiefs defensive end Frank Clark has been suspended for 2 games for violating the NFL's personal conduct policy.
Uh-oh.
What the hell, man?
What did he do?
Let me see here. Yeah, Clark in September pleaded no contest in Los Angeles to 2 counts of misdemeanor possession of an assault weapon and was sentenced to 1 year of probation and 40 hours of community service.
I got the full story. This is from Yahoo Sports. Yeah, Kansas City Chiefs defensive end Frank Clark has been suspended for 2 games for a violation of NFL's personal conduct policy. According to Adam Schefter, violation stems from Clark's arrest on weapons charges in June of last year when police officers reportedly found an Uzi sticking out of a duffel bag in the backseat of his Lambo after they had pulled him over for a vehicle code violation.
Did you say an Uzi?
Yes, I did. He literally had an Uzi sticking out of a duffel bag in his Lambo.
An Uzi?
Yeah, he literally had an Uzi.
Yeah, well, let's just say, fellas,
Yep.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, that's not. Oh, that's. Oh no, wait. I'm not done with this. Hold on. I'm not done with this. Hold on. This is not. This gets worse. It was later reported that Clark had also been arrested earlier that year after officers found a loaded rifle and handgun in the car. So he
my God.
So he has 3 counts of it says weapon of licensed firearms in his vehicle.
What the fuck, dude?
This continues what you said. Yeah, prosecutors hit Clark with a felony possession of an assault weapon charge, which carries a maximum sentence of 3 years. But Clark ended up pleading to 2 counts of misdemeanor possession of an assault weapon. Clark, no stranger to ugly legal charges, was sentenced to 1 year probation and 40 hours of community service.
Eesh. You know, well, NFL trying to protect their image. But man, this is ridiculous.
God damn, dude! I heard it's stupidity, but seriously, why would you? Seriously, what the fuck? Why are you driving down? Why are we driving down the main streets of wherever you live at in a hot ass Lambo packing heat that you don't have any license for? You dumbass.
I know that probably people like him probably might like hunting, but this is ridiculous. Especially if you're hunting with an Uzi, you're not hunting animals, you're hunting people.
Yeah, you're ready to do a drive-by and bust a cap at somebody's ass.
No kidding.
Also, and speaking of the NFL, I'm going to mix this up a little bit. We're going to talk about this, but the Tennessee Titans have unveiled their proposal for a new $2.1 billion upgrade to Nissan Stadium, which includes a see-through dome to go over Nissan Stadium.
I'm saying this, Tennessee Titans, you got my attention.
If you saw the video, you're right, because here's what the news say. Nashville Mayor John Cooper and Tennessee Titans officials unveiled the broad strokes of the potential deal, which would raise the existing Nissan Stadium, construct a new stadium closer to Interstate 24 last week, which is a smart idea because that way you can actually have traveling fans have easier access to get to the stadium, which cuts down on traffic, which makes it a lot easier. Okay, here's what it says. The renderings show a 1.7 million square foot stadium with a circular translucent roof. The stadium's exterior features terraces and porches, some with large screens that face green space surrounding buildings. So that could be used for rentals and shit, which I think is a good idea. Now the stadium capacity is taking a hit, but not by much. The stadium would have a capacity of approximately 60,000 fans, which is slightly less than the current Nissan Stadium among the smallest capacities of NFL stadiums throughout the country. This is a quote from Titans president and CEO Burke Meehill said the smaller capacity is a deliberate choice that reflects modern thinking about in-stadium experiences. Fan options could span from luxury boxes to standing room tickets to game-long tailgates. Experienced seats would have improved sightlines according to the release, so that means more visibility around the entire football field.
That's good.
Yeah, it is. And if you saw the photos of the concept, it does look very impressive. And also here's something crazy. They're actually planning to become. They're gonna actually have. They're saying fans' reaction says it ranges from awesome to just a giant Topgolf.
Giant what?
Topgolf. If you've ever been to Topgolf, it's basically a golfing range, but more exciting.
Oh.
Okay, and here's the finishing right here. The renderings were commissioned to inform site planning and cost estimates. The team stated in a Tuesday news release that they were produced by Kansas City-based Manica, an architect firm that worked on Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas and the Chase Center in San Fran. National architect firm Hastings partnered on the designs, saying, quote, reflecting Nashville's spirit and character, end quote, and integrating the building into the proposed neighborhood surrounding the new stadium.
You know something? Let me say something real quick. We saw how Allegiant Stadium looks.
Oh, definitely.
As well as Chase Center. So I tell you what, this looks great for the Titans.
Indeed.
Because one of the photos, hold on, Jacob. Because one of the photos I saw, someone tweet this. If you look closely, you see, because they like to have like still images inside the stadium. If you look closely inside, you see David Kim is stiff arming Josh Norman to oblivion.
I love that.
Shit.
Anyways, okay, so yeah, the proposal has not been approved yet, but it said it envisions a multi-purpose design that can host both large-scale events and NFL games and community programs. The proposed stadium complex would also include a 12,000 square foot community event space. So they can be a multi-purpose design here. That's interesting. They have not selected an architect on record, but here's what they need to do. To move forward with this stadium deal, they must secure approval from Nashville's 40-member council, which is expected to review the terms of the agreement next week. Okay?
Wow.
They are both deliberate and skeptical in the review of the deal, which would be the largest public project in the history of Nashville, and the largest public spend on a football stadium to date in the United States, according to the Sycamore Institute.
Mm-hmm. I wonder how the Nashville Predators feel once the Titans get their stadium built. Nashville Predators say, "Hey, what about us? We need a new arena."
Yeah, Bridgestone has been up for a good bit, bit as well. Definitely this could be some big things going on for the city of Nashville. If the plan goes through, we can't see the ripple effect go on, and we might be seeing possibly some updates for Bridgestone, and possibly maybe some more things that go down the right for the city of Tennessee, and might send over to Memphis for the FedEx Forum.
Oh yeah.
But the FedEx Forum is in Memphis.
But it's still in Tennessee.
But I said Tennessee. But safe to say the Titans are really pushing forward on probably hosting a Super Bowl or maybe even a Final Four, or maybe even both.
Yeah.
For the city of Nashville.
Absolutely. Also, while we're in the NFL, while we're in the neighborhood, Coach told Matt Ryan, you did a good job, Matt, but we're going to go with the new kid now. You're done.
Matt Ryan, unfortunately for Matt Ryan, he has been very inconsistent and has not been producing wins, much-needed wins for the Colts. So the head coach told him, you're done.
Yeah.
Take a seat and stay there. So hopefully this will envelop maybe more big confidence into the Colts Nation and possibly continue on their stretch to maybe stick close to 500.
Yeah, I think that another thing to consider about Indy, this team just hasn't been the same since Andrew Luck retired.
No. Yeah, since Jim Irsay and that asshole head coach kind of ruined him.
Yeah, and it's not helping that Philip Rivers only lasted a year. Philip Rivers, I'm not pronouncing that right. Only lasted a season before he retired. Mm-hmm. And then next thing before you know it, they got this is Jacoby Brissett before he went to Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
And now here we are, Matt Ryan, but now Matt Ryan's been benched for the rest of the season. Colts had a tough loss Sunday, 19-10 to the Tennessee Titans. So
okay. I'm going to bring this up now, and I know Brandon is starting to realize this. Is it safe to say that we can now say that the New York Giants are possible contenders?
In a way.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean,
think about it.
This
is a New York Giants team with Danny Dirks under center. Danny Dirks under center, and they are 6-1, and right behind Buffalo for the NFC, and right behind Philadelphia for the NFC East.
They got 4 straight.
Yeah, 4. No, 6. No. Like seriously, what is this?
I have no idea what's going on.
No, and it's not just that.
Twilight
The entire section of New York and New Jersey have winning teams. We know the Buffalo Bills are up. The Buffalo Bills, where are you? The Buffalo Bills out of bye, but they're 5-1. The Giants are 6-1, and the Jets, the Buffalo of the AFC East are 5-2.
Yeah, 5-2, beating the Broncos 16-9.
Yeah.
But something tells me those good times ain't gonna last long because of the injury bug.
Yeah, the injury bug shows no pain
But despite the fact that Breece Hall is in the injury reserve, they got a running. They were able to get a running back via trade from Jacksonville of all places.
Yeah. But needless to say, this past Sunday was just ugly injury-wise because Breece Hall's out for the year. Elijah Vera Tucker is out for the rest of the season. Chargers player J.C. Jackson is going to be out for the rest of the season. DK Metcalf is going to miss 2 to 6 weeks. Mike Williams is going to miss 2 to 5 weeks. And David Njoku is going to miss 2 to 5 weeks. So
yeah, the football gods show no pittance to anybody. They will need to take their necessary sacrifices when they need to.
I think that obviously these injuries are beginning to take their tolls, and I know usually, and I know Cody gets on my nerves about this. Every time someone gets injured, he insists that he insists that I put up the General Hospital thing. The way we're heading to General Hospital, we need the doctors because this is getting out of hand. These injuries is taking their toll on this football team, and the question has to be asked about the NFL. You really probably might have all your stadiums to go natural grass because turf ain't working.
Because the hybrid turf is not working. It is not helping out with these players. There has been more injuries on artificial turf than has never been since on au natural grass. And I get the argument, but it helps out with weather. It helps out with draining. Unfortunately, the cons weigh out the bad, weigh out the good. How is it going to be a good game with a good turf when you got players who are literally breaking knees and ankles on a daily basis?
Yeah, I was about to say, Jacob, in this particular case, the ends does not justify the means in this particular case. And this also how come, running backs don't have that long of a career because of the turf. Have injuries like turf toe. And
turf toe, busted, shattered ankles, dislocated ankles, ripped, torn ACL, MCL, shattered dislocated kneecaps, the works.
Oh, yeah. And here's another thing about the NFL that you guys didn't get a chance to hear. The Cowboys got Jonathan Haskins, the defensive tackle from the Raiders, from the trade.
Yeah, we do got the trading deadline coming up.
The deadline is nearing. Next Tuesday is the trade deadline for the NFL. Yeah. So if you want to get your players in, you better be fast.
Absolutely. And I think that another thing to consider, and we'll move on from here after I say this, is that, we're seeing so many of these teams pretty much jump-starting rebuilding, because that's what Carolina did when they said Christian McCaffrey to San Fran. And so most of these teams, they've already started to rebuild.
Definitely.
Now, I don't think anyone's going to start tanking anytime soon.
But, not yet, at least.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to be tanking anytime soon. But I think that's one of the many things to consider, about what's been going on. Injuries, like we said, has taken their toll. The NFL should really, really, really tell each football field, look, We know turf looks pretty. Turf looks very, very nice. But you got to consider the welfare of your players. We're not even going to talk about rough ball because we've seen enough for one day. We've seen enough for one
Please
day.
don't.
There's no need for us to continue beating down on that head horse. So
Anyway, let's switch it up. Yeah, college football, man. Oh, man. Safe to say, the College Football Playoff Committee is going to be having a lot of deliberations on who is going to be the 4 to move on for January.
Yeah, because this past weekend, boy, I tell you what, first of all, I had a hunch LSU was going to beat Ole Miss because Ole Miss, for some odd reason, always struggles at Death Valley. And
Why do you think we earned the nickname Death Valley? It's not because we got a big hunk of rock or slate or whatever it is from a desert out in California. No, we call ourselves Death Valleys because, to quote a great coach, it's where opposing teams' dreams go to die.
You know something? And speaking of coaches, I like what Brian Kelly said. He basically said, October is for pretenders. November is for contenders. And
you know what? He hit the nail on the head.
Absolutely. I was about to say, already, we're seeing the pretenders being separated from the contenders. And now the contenders, now they got all what it takes to probably get to one of those 4 spots in the college football playoff.
Indeed.
What a week, though.
Definitely. Of course, LSU knocking out Ole Miss 45-20, but that's not but a lot of top 10 teams, a lot of top ranked teams have been hit with the upset bug over in college football. I know this is going to hurt some people, but Oregon knocking out UCLA in a tight matchup over in the Duck Pond, 45-30 Ducks.
Mm-hmm.
Is it safe to call it an upset? Yeah. Good point.
I was about to say, Clemson barely got through Syracuse 27-21.
Syracuse gave them a fight, and Clemson narrowly survived. They didn't escape it; they survived their matchup against Syracuse, against the Orange. And it's safe to say that could hurt them definitely in the ranking system. Of course, Ohio State not just destroying Iowa at Horseshoe. Tennessee is putting up a strong case that they deserve to be in the playoffs. Just going to town on UTEN Martin, 6-24.
Tennessee Martin.
Yeah, UTM. Of course, Alabama just gave Mississippi State the good old fashioned paddling. TCU is making a strong case as well, beating Kansas State 38-28. Safe to say, there's going to be we might be seeing some underdogs starting to slip through the cracks here, and that's kind of a good thing.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't sleep on Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State beat Texas over the weekend.
Yeah, 41-34. Definitely, there are many teams that can give a strong case to pull off what Cincinnati has done and make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, Wake Forest is still in the hunt after beating Boston College 43-15. Penn State still in the hunt, beating Minnesota 45-17. Cincinnati barely surviving SMU 29-27. And the biggest surprise of them all, Tulane, the Green Wave. They're 7-1 after beating Memphis 38-28. And I think Tulane's the biggest surprise of them all.
Honestly, I'm proud for the Green Wave because it shows that Louisiana is not just LSU country. There are many colleges in Louisiana that can actually put up a good fight, and Tulane is one of them.
Absolutely. Tulane is doing a wonderful job. I mean, they're leading the American conference, and, Tulane is loaded. Now, do they have what it takes to probably make the college football playoffs? Probably not, because they're so far down in the rankings. But
you never know.
Maybe Maybe
Yeah, a hard maybe.
Maybe a New Year's Bowl, maybe.
That, I
Is it
wouldn't be
fun?
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they make a New Year's 6. Okay,
Mhm.
that's a big shocker. If not, then if it's close to it, then I'm okay with that because at least it shows that they can play with the big boys. But yeah, safe to say this weekend you best not miss because we are about to hit November, which that means we're about to hit rivalries, and that
yeah.
and we got a lot of games this weekend that are going to be touching on all those buttons. Of course, my LSU Tigers are taking the bye week for this week, but we got a lot of big games coming up this weekend. We're going to start off with the third. You mind if I run down the schedule for you on college football?
Go ahead.
Go.
All right, here we go. Starting off with the Thursday games, we're going to go a little early here. We're going to have NC State, the Wolfpack, playing host to the Hokies of Va-Tech.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and then on primetime on FS1, the Wildcats of Washington State play host to the Utes of Utah.
That's gonna be good. That's gonna be
They're
good.
14 ranked Utah.
Yeah, 14th ranked Utah. And then now we get to the Saturday slate. That's where the fun begins. Starting off with the nooner games, we got of course Notre Dame heading up to New York to take on Syracuse.
Yeah. Also at noon, we got a big one coming up. Second-ranked Buckeyes going up against the 13th-ranked Penn State Nittany Lions.
And it could be,
Happy Valley.
we might be at Happy Valley, and it could be their whiteout game. And in the past, whiteout games can tell you it is something to behold over at Happy Valley.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Couple more games.
We got
a couple of some more good games coming up this week. Oregon go play against California. We got the world's largest we got the world's largest cocktail party this week.
Yeah,
Florida and Georgia.
The annual tradition continues in Jacksonville. The Gators, the Bulldogs of Georgia take on the Gators of Florida. Best believe the Gators would love to pull off the upset of the year and knock off the number one ranked team in the nation.
And let's not forget another rivalry game that's heading our way, and it's going to be up north in Michigan. Spartans going to town against the Wolverines.
Motor City Mayhem. Simple enough. The Wolverines and the Spartans hate each other. Okay, there is hatred in that state.
Yeah. Also, keep your eyes on the Kentucky-Tennessee game because that's going to be a very interesting game.
That is a good rivalry game right there between the Vols and the Wildcats, Kentucky and Tennessee. Tennessee needs to survive Kentucky if they want to still have within a shot of making it to the playoffs. Kentucky would love to play spoiler as well. But, yeah, definitely, rivalry month is catching up fast, and it's going to get ugly.
Yeah. Shifting gears because we're not running low on time, but we need to shift gears. We got hit the court with the NBA and
the
NBA. Yeah, but before we get to the games, we got to talk about this now. I have got to believe that Laker Nation right now are getting a sense of deja vu because they started the season 0-3. The last time they did that, they had Kobe Bryant on the roster.
Oh my God.
Okay, think about that. This is not good for Laker Nation. I'll tell you that much.
The hell it ain't.
You can't start 0-3 in the Western Conference because you're already digging yourself in a hole. And, and unfortunately, the Lakers have seen this happen before. And like I said, the aforementioned, I think, what was it, 2010, 2009 season, when, like I said, they started 0-3. And then they went on a stretch at the end of the year, 15-15, and then they started to slip. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, safe to say, if they're not hitting the panic button now, they're going to be destroying it by the end of the year.
I think there's one person to blame on this one, and Russell Westbrook.
Oh yeah, triple double man. Who thinks in his big head of his that he should be the only man to help out this team. There's an old saying in sports: there is no I in team.
Dumbass.
on, seriously, goddamn star power. But yeah, so far at the start of in this season, we haven't even gotten the end of October yet, and we are starting to see a lot of crazy things happening, including for instance, my Pelicans. Think about this, my New Orleans Pelicans. Okay, are 2-1, a good start in the season, and right now they are playing at the Smoothie King Center against the Mavericks, and we have got a tight game going on right now between the Mavs and the Pelicans. 5 minutes of change left in the half. 57-43 Pelicans. Think about that.
I was about to say, Jacob, you call that game tight, 57-43? You call that game tight? And look, I blow out
Look at the game that's on halftime. Detroit and Washington. That game is tighter than you think. It's 56-49 against.
Yeah. And we got a game already started in progress over at OKC. The Thunder taking on the Clippers 10-5, but 8 minutes and change left in the first quarter. And we got a game coming up later on tonight over in Phoenix at the Talking Foot Stadium. I will never understand why they change their names. But the Suns will play host to the defending champion Warriors on TNT tonight.
Yeah, they call the arena the Footprint Center.
Footprint. Yeah. But definitely. This has been the most interesting start for the NBA season in a long while. A lot of teams are starting off the season hot and heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're in October.
And here's something that pisses me off. And it's about Brittany Griner.
Oh, I think I know why.
The Moscow court denied her request of appeal and gave her 9 years. It gave her like a 9 month sentence or something. 9 years.
9 years.
Yeah. 9 years. They are really cranking the vice for the U.S. to make the deal. I was like, dude, that's just so petty of you. God damn it.
No kid.
Here's the thing. Let me jump in. Hold on. Let me jump in.
Go ahead.
Because look, this is the thing that's frustrating to me. Yes, what Brittany Griner did was wrong. Russia takes drugs very, very seriously.
I mean, they're banned from all sports. You tell you.
Yeah, and Brittany Griner tried to explain to them she had marijuana because it was medicated for her, and she admitted what she did was wrong, and she apologized. And basically what the Russian court did, they threw the book at her and just sentenced her to 9 years. And the thing that's frustrating to me is that if the U.S. wants to, get Brittany Griner back, they have to trade probably I don't know who Russia wants.
They want a notorious hacker who has information they want, basically.
So, but it's just frustrating to me about this whole thing. It's damned if you do and damned if you don't.
Basically, either way, nobody's coming out rosy.
And here's the thing I'm saying about this. If Brittany Griner retires because of this shit,
I wouldn't blame her.
Just expect everybody to go on a riot.
I'm expecting all hell to break loose. And Brittany Griner has no reason to be at fault because honestly, Brittany Griner was just bad. It was just bad timing, honestly. Yeah. But let's get out of this situation because
hold on. I was about to say let's shift gears before we get political because this is not a political show. You want a political show? Go watch Tucker Carlson on Fox News.
If you want political, go watch Fox or NBCSN or C-SPAN. This is not the political podcast.
Yeah, so let's hit the ice real quick.
Let's go to the ice because we had a lot of crazy things happen in the NHL.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I was about to say, Jacob, we're over talking each other, but but the hockey world, I think that so far hockey night. In fact, man, we got a game going on.
We actually have a couple games going on. Actually, we got a couple good ones going on so far today. Over in Beantown at the TD Garden, we got a tight game. We got a tight game at the start of the second period, 1-1 between the Stars and the Bruins. Over in Montreal at Le Centre Bell, the Wild and Canadians are tied 1-1 with about to hit the halfway mark in the second period.
Oh, Jesus.
Well,
Boston's in power play. Let's not forget that. And
Boston.
Look at the Devils whipping the Red Wings 4-1.
Yeah, over at Little Caesars Arena, the Devils are just going to town on the Red Wings 4-1. Over in the Big Apple at Madison Square Garden, the Rangers and the Avalanche are starting off a really good defensive fight as they are scoreless in the early goings of the first period over there in New York City.
Funny enough, do you think this could be a potential Stanley Cup final between Avalanche and the Rangers?
It's possible.
It is too early to ask because we're still early in the season, but you never know. And then of course, up in Columbus, the Coyotes are leading the Blue Jackets 2-0. And speaking of the Coyotes, we need to talk about this. Like I said before the show starts, they're basically renting the Sun Devils Stadium, Sun Devils hockey arena, because from what we've been hearing, they cannot even put their logo on center ice for their games. They got to stick with the Sun Devils logo, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Why am I not surprised?
The Coyotes played their first home game this Friday against the Winnipeg Jets. And I was thinking to myself, now this has Gary Bettman's fault written all over it, because this, we've been saying for the longest, this team is not working in Arizona. The market has made it abundantly clear we hate hockey, and I think that market has made it abundantly clear. But for some reason, Gary Bettman wants to keep the team in Arizona. Glendale has had enough, and that's how come they're playing in the college hockey arena, because the arena which they was at, I think it was Gila Rivers Arena.
Gila River Arena.
And that was owned by the city of Glendale. They said, we ain't paying anymore. That's it. That's all. We're losing money with this team.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Gary Bettman has got his head so far up his ass that he could smell it. He could smell what he had for breakfast earlier today. That he does not want to move the team, no matter how much the fans are screaming, "Move the team!" Okay.
I think that's the first way thing.
Getting back to the scheduling, later on tonight, in fact, puck drop is about to happen in a few minutes. Over in Chi-Town at the Madhouse, it is the Panthers playing host to the Panthers going to face the Blackhawks over at the United Center.
Yeah, going up to Calgary, Alberta, Canada. The Flames playing host to the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Hold on, Brandon, you did it wrong. It's Calgary, Alberta, Canada. You got to do the pause. It's always
God damn it.
That's for you, Landstorm.
God damn it. We know but still, Flames, they're hosting the Penguins. We know it.
Yeah. Over at Climate Pledge Arena, formerly known as the Key Arena, up in Seattle, the Kraken will play host to the Sabres at 9 o'clock. 9:30 over at the legendary Staples Center. You will not make me say that new name. I don't care. The Kings will play host to the Lightning. That's gonna be a game to keep an eye on.
And at that tank, the Vegas Golden Knights going to San Jose, take on the Sharks.
Indeed. And speaking of the NHL, I'm going to keep this going here for a little bit because the NHL teams has released their reverse retro jerseys for this season.
Oh man.
Yeah, and if you had the chance to take a look at some the designs of it, I highly suggest you do, because some of those designs are beautiful. Okay.
Absolutely. You know what? First of all, I like the San Jose Sharks retro jersey, because it's like a shout out to the Oakland Seals. They have decided to pay a nod to their former franchise and the California Golden Seals with their design. But I have to a lot of the other teams, really beautiful designs. Dallas,
really paying homage to their old designs from not only back in the day, but Minnesota as well. St. Louis going really rare with their reverse retro, going with a design that hasn't even seen the ice ever. It was a concept design way back in the day, but hasn't even worn one game, and that's how rare it is. The Oilers are bringing back the oil drop Meteor from way back in the day with their design. Yeah, beautiful. The Sabres are bringing back the design they had when they were dominant in the 2000s with the goat below center crest. The Islanders brought back the Fishermen for the first time since the early 90s when they got brought out by John Spano.
Oh yeah, I still remember when the Islanders had that logo. And every time they hit the ice, it's almost like that logo look like it's just from that commercial that says, "Trust the Gordon Fisherman."
Yeah. The Penguins brought back the Robo Penguin.
Oh, boy.
When you see that logo, immediately in your head, you're thinking of Mario Lemieux. Okay? And I know I'm not the only one. Yeah. The Avalanche decided to pay homage with the reverse retro of the state they live in because they decided to just go simple enough with the Colorado state flag colors instead of just having it on their shoulders. Which honestly is a nice touch because it pays respect to the city you're working with.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Rangers brought back Lady Liberty, but this time in their official colors, which honestly I think there should be a third jersey. I'm begging you.
Yeah. Let's shift gears, fellas, because we're running low on time. Let's hit the upcoming games in the NFL, and we're going back to London Sunday, but first we gotta go over Thursday.
Week 8. We're about to hit the halfway mark of the 2022-2023 season.
This Thursday, we firstly get Baltimore and going basically to Raymond James Stadium, face against the Buccaneers.
Oh, I am not looking forward to this, not only for you, Carter, but for Jamal as well.
Yeah, it's going to get ugly.
Basically, and I'll keep my comments short because we're running low on time. But we got a team that can't hold on to a lead facing off against a team whose quarterback is getting older like milk. So it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, and then now Sunday, the London game.
The Denver Broncos against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jaguars, who are known to go to London year after year, is going back there to face off against the Broncos. And now to the nooner games. And this one's kind of important for myself because this Sunday at noon o'clock in the Superdome, it will be my New Orleans Saints going up against the Las Vegas Raiders. Either way, one of us is going to be leaving with the W.
Yeah. Also at noon, Carolina Panthers going up against the Falcons.
Yeah, over at
someone's going to have to win. Someone's going to have to win the NFC Dirty South, so someone has to do it.
Yeah. Over at Jerry's World in Arlington,
we got
Cowboys
the Bears
play
and the
host.
Cowboys. Oh boy.
Oh God, that's not going to be fun.
Nope.
Over at Ford Field in the Motor City, the Dolphins head up north to take on the 1-5 Lions.
Jesus. Yeah.
This is the one game we're kind of worried about because from what we've been hearing, Tua will be on the roster for that game, and I'm more worried about his health. Is he ready to get back on the field?
That's the key question. I mean, I think he did play Sunday against Pittsburgh.
He did.
You're right. Fair enough. But yeah,
next we have the Cardinals and the Vikings.
This one is a game you want to keep your eye out because both teams have a clear case to possibly have a chance to continue their march for their division. The Vikings want to continue their strength and continue leading the NFC North. The Cardinals are trying to keep themselves above 500 and possibly within a chance of the NFC West. So this is a game you want to keep your eyes out. Another good game coming up.
We got a rivalry coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Up in the Meadowlands between the Patriots and the Jets.
An AFC East rivalry right there.
I was about to say, I got a quick question. Who's going to be the starting quarterback for the Patriots?
That's the question because a lot of their quarterbacks are on the shelf.
Well, you got Mac Jones and you got Bailey Zapp.
Yeah, Zappy.
Yeah, Zappy. And you know what?
That is still the most 1950s name I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I was about to say, you know what? Someone was sharing a tweet on Twitter with him like mouthing. He was singing a song. You know that song Stacy's Mom, and he was singing along with it. I just want to throw that in. Let's go ahead and keep going.
Yeah, we got an inner city fight off going on in Pennsylvania.
It's the Battle of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Over at the link between the Eagles and the Steelers would love nothing more than to play spoiler on the Eagles' perfect season so far.
Yeah, I was about to say, I wonder who's gonna be more happy, your name tree or eat that pee. Eat the
Don't bring that pedophile in here.
No.
Okay, I'm just asking. That's all. But that's gonna be a good game. That is going to be a very good game.
Yeah, a game that I think we're just going to skim over is the Titans heading down to Houston to take on the Texans. Ew.
Yeah, Houston's winning. Houston is going to get done. That's no question.
Over at the house that
Lucas
Peyton
Oil
Manning
Stadium.
Yeah, Lucas Oil. The Colts will play host to the football team. The Colts need a win to stay above 500 and possibly within a shout of the AFC South.
Yeah. And this is going to be a good one for you.
Yeah, it's going to be time to see what the new quarterback in Indy can do.
Yeah, and speaking of interstate rivalry, Niners and Rams.
Oh, boy. Is it safe to say that these two teams don't like each other?
That is the understatement of the year because the Rams and the Niners hate each other, and that's even before LA, and that's even before and after LA did the move, you know.
Oh yeah.
And then of course rounding out the afternoon games over at Lumen Field, it is the Seahawks against the Giants. Can the Seahawks put another L for the Giants, or will the Giants still stay in a shot of contention?
Yeah, and we have a primetime game, and this time it's the Packers going against the Buffalo Bills up at Orchard Park.
Yeah, over at Orchard Park, formerly known as the Ralph. And, of course, Monday night, Halloween night, ladies and gentlemen. We have got some Halloween football. It's an interstate rivalry to boost up at First Energy Stadium between the Bengals and the Browns. Oh, Lord.
Absolutely. And, of course, the Chiefs. I was about to say, hold on. I was about to say, speaking of that, the Chiefs and the Chargers, they're on their bye this week. So make sure if you have any players that on your fantasy team, make sure you sub them out.
Put them on the bench because they are not going to help you this week. But yeah, safe to say we're going to be seeing a lot of ugly football this week, gentlemen. But yeah,
so true.
We're still short on time, but I'm going to make this real quick here because I'm going to move it up to the racetrack because last Sunday was the United States Grand Prix over at the Circuit of the Americas.
Oh yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, a champion has been crowned, not for the drivers because that goes to them to Stafford. I'm talking about the constructors because for the first time, Mercedes falls. They do not capture the Constructors Championship. That honor goes to Red Bull.
Wow.
Yeah, Red Bull captures the Constructors title for the first time since they had Sebastian Vettel as their driver. But yeah, they take it, albeit with some madness that happened there. Of course, first turn, freaking Charles Leclerc gets spun out and almost hit the wall.
Well,
that was in the very first lap too.
Yeah, let me just say something real quick concerning Formula One because over the weekend, Formula One has signed a new deal to be on ESPN, to be on the ESPN family of networks. So
that is true. So
that means
if you want to keep your taste for Formula One, best believe keep your stations tuned to both ESPN and ABC to watch all of your Formula One coverage.
Yeah,
absolutely. ESPN2, ESPN
News,
even
and ABC.
ESPN Plus,
and ABC as well.
But
yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say something real quick. I want to thank everyone for tuning in on our show of shows. This is episode 51, and like I said, we've been doing this for about a year, and boy, we've been having fun with you all.
Indeed.
It's been that kind of a ride.
Yeah, hard to believe.
Like I said, we want to thank
almost a full calendar year.
Yeah, that's what I say. Like we said last week, and it's worth repeating. We want to thank our listeners. We want to thank folks that call in and voice their opinion on our show. We just want to thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedule and tuning in and listening to us this evening.
Definitely.
Thanks again to Jacob and Brandon for us doing this show. We are so glad that you're taking time out of your busy schedule to join us.
Indeed, definitely. And like I said, like you said, hard to believe. We're about to hit 1 calendar year with this podcast, and we feel like we just started because that's the thing with this podcast. We're having fun. That's the thing about it. Okay, if this is a serious podcast, we've been done after the first month. That's why we call this place the bar, and it always will be a bar because that's what the bar is. We have fun, we talk about sports, and we listen. Okay, and it's not just for our fans.
Hold on, Jacob, hold on. I forgot something real quick.
What's that?
And we want to send a special shout out to our friend Ryan.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You mind if I do this, please?
Go ahead, Jacob.
I know most of our listeners have heard about this over the weekend in the college community, but I'll bear repeating here. One of our best friends, Brandon and me personally, and Ryan Riley, unfortunately suffered a real life injury, some shattered toes, which led to a very bad infection in his right leg. From what we've heard, if he didn't make it to the hospital a couple days ago, we wouldn't be hearing from him anymore. But I do have some good news. The surgery went well. They only had to get rid of the pinky toe, but all the other toes were fixed, and now he is recovering, and he will start rehab very soon, which is very good. But he has requested to take some time off for virtual wrestling so that he can heal. And all of us here at the VWU Sports Podcast wish our very well wishes. And hopefully that Ryan can knock this out and get back to us because we care for him, and that's what it is. That's what it is. We care for him as a friend, and we want to see him back 100% healthy and happy. You know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And believe me, I have diabetes, and believe me, I know how it feels because I have type 1 diabetes, and believe me, going through shit like that is like
it sucks, and.
Not that it sucks. It's nearly hell. But sometimes you gotta have that willpower to just pull through.
And that's the beauty of this podcast. Not only for sports, but for virtual wrestling as a whole. Because we may be a community, but in reality, we're friends. And the best of friends help out others through the high times and the low times. Okay, and that's the thing with this podcast, because we want to show we give our love to our fans and our friends. And every time we get on the show, we have fun because we enjoy it. Okay? Think about this. 1 calendar year. We're about to hit 52 weeks, and we enjoy it. Okay? We call ourselves Bob because we want to listen. We want to hear from you guys. Whether it is on Discord, or you give us a call. Give us a call. As always, 516-666-9955. Give us a call. Listen in every Tuesday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. I think we might be changing to 7:30 because we've been doing this a lot, and I think it works. But as always, come listen to us on Blog Talk Radio. And if you missed our show, our video on demand keeps growing. Every past episode is available on not only Blog Talk Radio, but Spotify and iHeartRadio. And listen in and give us some love. But until then, we will see you guys next week. Gentlemen, the World Series is about to kick off. It's going to be crazy. We're going to have a crazy week, not only in college football, but in the NFL. The NBA is getting started with their show. The NHL is kicking off, and a lot of crazy things are going on. But until then, until next week, we love you all. We will see you guys next week. For Brandon, for Carter, I'm Jacob. We love you all. We'll see you guys next week. Until then, we gotta go. We'll see you guys next time.
See you later, boys.
Woo!